Konnichiwa.
Welcome to the Jandals in Japan podcast.
Kia ora, Catherine.
Konnichiwa, Jane.
We are talking about marketing in this episode today. So we thought we'd start off by dissecting, just in general, marketing between Japan and New Zealand. And often my children comment after they've been on a trip to New Zealand and they've seen the TV ads, for example, in New Zealand, and they come back to Japan and they're like, oh my God, Japanese TV ads are so dramatic, is what they say. Dramatic. Like everything's very overdone, isn't it? Like the beer drinking is like, this is so delicious. Oh my God. And the ramen, people are like slurping away like this is the best meal they've ever had, and everything, all of the gestures are very overdone, and there's stuff popping out of the screen at you and right? This is your average Japanese commercial.
It's true. Yeah, that's right. And I think it's not like their real life, which is not dramatic and not using hand gestures and not being so expressive, but it comes out in the advertising.
Yes, absolutely opposite to your average Japanese person, how they go about their life. Whereas, Kiwi ads are kind of a little bit more playing it down, but making some pretty funny jokes about stuff,
trying to be
right?
humorous.
Yeah,
right?
we were looking for the comedy.
Yeah.
Right? In the ad is what we're looking for.
Especially someone like, I think of Pack and Save, and they try to be very funny all the time with their little stick figures, but sometimes the jokes fall a bit flat.
Okay, right.
Yeah. But the other thing I note too is in New Zealand, advertising is so long, right? You'll go to the bathroom and come back and the ads are still on, the length of the time that they allocate to advertising. Whereas in Japan, you've got to run to the bathroom back or else you'll miss the next part of the episode. They're very much shorter.
I've noticed that they are very well placed throughout. Like if you're watching a movie on TV, which I think not many of us are doing, for the first hour, there are no ads. And you get very sucked into whatever it is you're watching. But then in the last sort of half an hour, it's like ads, another 10 minutes, more ads. And it's like, come on, I just want to see the end of the movie.
Yeah, let me see the end of it.
No, I'm not sure if New Zealand does that now too, but that's certainly very Japanese. I was like,
and the other thing with Japan too is TV programs are sponsored by companies, aren't they?
Yes.
Brought to you by, and there'll be company names.
So, they have that little phrase, the set phrase that they say that introduces all of the sponsors. Can you remember what it is? It's something like,
isn't it something like
something?
Yeah. Yes, ご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします something like that, but in a kind of ご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします
it has to be in a high-pitched voice.
And there's lots of sponsors, right? I think they have a whole lineup of them, and then they have only a different one for when it's only one. How would that be?
So that's like この番組は Jandals in Japan の提供でお送りします
That's it.
Something like that.
You heard it here.
Yeah, this program is brought to you by
Jandals in Japan. Obviously, those advertisers are related to, in some way, the theme of the program or some aspect to it. So it's very coordinated and curated, isn't it, I think? And it makes you sort of think about marketing, how you do that in Japan, because you can't just, bring New Zealand style to Japan.
You cannot. It will be like, what was that? And also, marketing's not just TV, right? So, for example, pamphlets or websites, or those all become marketing, right? And Japanese ones look very, very different, and
there's a
very different sort of requirements to meet local expectations.
And layouts and uses of brackets and parentheses, all these sorts of things, right? It's quite an education. But for the real education, the best thing is to keep listening to this episode, because today's guest is someone who truly embodies global marketing leadership in action. Kanako Inomata is the international marketing leader with deep expertise across consumer, shopper, and digital marketing. After some time working at household brands, she is now at Zespri International, and she leads the marketing across Japan and also the Asia Pacific region. Under her leadership, the Zespri team is receiving lots of regional and local awards, and she's just got such a big impact at Zespri. we had this chat during the 2026 Winter Olympics and discovered another talent beyond
So
marketing
cool. Yeah.
that Kanako has on the ski fields, but we'll leave it there. Keep listening and hear how you can connect your marketing strategy to execution across Japan and other Asian cultures. This is the episode for you to keep listening to.
All right, let's hear it from Kanako. Kia ora, Kanako. Welcome to the Jandals in Japan podcast. Great to have you on the show today.
Thank you. I'm very excited to join.
So we know that you work remotely from your hometown in Aizu area of Fukushima. And Fukushima is often in the news for the wrong reasons, but today we have a chance to talk about some of the many great things about Fukushima. So could you tell us one of your favorite things about Fukushima? It could be a place, a food, or an activity, anything you want people to know about Fukushima.
I think it's right that Fukushima is sometimes badly known for different reasons, but this is where I born. I love here for obviously nature, food, but more about the people. I really wanted to raise my kids in the Japanese traditions and the close neighborhood. And that's one of the reasons we decided to relocate here.
Very good. Yes, it's a lovely place to raise a family, that's for sure. Catherine, you have been to Fukushima many, many times,
I
mostly
have.
to visit me.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for living there so I can come and visit. I hope next time, Kanako-san, I can come and see you. Obviously, I've had a lot of time mostly in Iwaki area where Jane lives, and there are so many gems in Fukushima that are waiting for people to find them. I think there's so many people want to talk about going to Japan and going off the beaten track, but I don't think people are looking hard enough. Because if you really venture up to Fukushima, you're going to get some really amazing things. Like you just said, nature, food, the people. Staying in Yumoto and staying in the ryokan and getting into the onsen, just delightful. And there's some really great cherry blossom spots there that are just, no one else is there. You can have the whole field to yourself. So I love the area. It's time I went again, Jane. How about you? Come on, you are the PR officer for Fukushima.
You can do just about everything here, can't you, though, Kanako?
Right. I think Aiza is also very different from Iwaki. I think
Yes.
Iwaki, you wouldn't get snow as much, right?
No snow
This
here.
time from December to March is covered fully with beautiful white snow. And it's very famous Japan powder. So it's called Japao. And many foreigners goes to either Nagano or Hokkaido. But I must say, Fukushima is also closer to Tokyo, and the quality of snow is as good as Hokkaido. So
That's right.
yeah, all of my friends visit my place, found it really secret, hidden, beautiful place, and they enjoy quality of the snow as well.
That's
See?
right. How much snow have you got outside your house right now where you are?
Today I think it's only 50 centimeters because weekend was quite warm.
Warm.
50
So
centimeters, half a meter.
50. Yeah, but it's not as
That's
much
a
as
lot.
we wish to have. Yeah, so I have a beautiful big garden where kids always play outside with snow, or the neighbor kids gather here just to play with snow.
That's something I like about Fukushima is that it's kind of a New Zealand lifestyle that you can have here. And I explained that like I have my own car and my husband has his car, and we get in our cars and we drive to the store we want to shop at, park outside the store for free, buy the things we want to buy, and then drive home again. It's a very similar lifestyle to New Zealand.
That's very true.
Yeah, so I enjoy that about living in Fukushima. So yeah, and you can
Yeah.
ski, you can go to the beach, you can do absolutely everything in Fukushima. So we have it all.
I
And
think
yeah,
you
you
just
should.
hit on the one, right? The driving everywhere is so like New Zealand. I just remembered now, and putting the music on in the car and cruising along with your
Yep, it's 20
sunglasses.
minutes to everywhere
Yeah.
from my
Yeah,
house. Always
fantastic.
No, only
driving.
one thing that we have difference from New Zealand is that we don't have circles. So you always just stop at the signals. So driving circles in New Zealand is the
There's no,
one
Oh,
time
that's
like
that
right.
Right,
The route
the
we
roundabout.
Yes,
Yeah,
roundabouts,
round.
that's
right. Yeah, wow. Well, let's get started because we just want to welcome you so much. Kanako Inomata, you're the head of marketing APAC for Zespri. And it's obviously one of the world's most famous fresh produce brands. And there's not a Kiwi around who does not know Zespri. We've been just following you on LinkedIn and through your colleague, Anzai-san, who was on before you on the show. You've just been based in Asia Pac, but working in so many different countries. Like you've got Japan and Korea and Singapore and Australia and Vietnam and many others. And so people have really been following you on social media. I think we'll see that there's not only the Zespri side of the business, but you're a real people person. And you've obviously brought along a big team with you to help you with your deep commitment in Japan to the people here too. We can't wait to hear from you. And so, again, welcome to Jandals in Japan. We'll put your full bio into the show notes. But first of all, tell us a bit about your background. You've told us a little bit, but also where your first touch was with New Zealand.
So starting from my career perspective, I'm working as a marketer, let's say. Whole life career was always with marketing. I started my career at Unilever as an FMCG marketing and spent there about 10 years. When I delivered my first baby, I decided to change my career. I had 1 year career break and then looking for the brand that I can work for to grow. And also I always want to work for the brand which really contribute to society. So there are many different constellations, but I decided to join Zespri about 11 years ago. I just have marked my 11th anniversary on the 1st of February. So that's how I started to work for Zespri. And Zespri is now longer than Unilever. So half of my career, more than half of my career as a professional is now with Zespri. And I think it was my, obviously, first time to work for New Zealand brand.
Yeah, so 10 years at Unilever and now 11, you've gone over that, and congratulations with Zespri.
Thank you.
Wow. What was it like though, moving from an FMCG brand like Unilever, which is totally different product, to your fresh produce area in Zespri? Was it quite different or was there some sort of similarities there?
I think every brand and company have some similarities and differences. It's always the center of consumer. That's, I think, the beauty of marketing. So that's still continues. But obviously, compared to Unilever, where having very long marketing-led company operations, they have a lot of systems and framework, whereas at Zespri, 11 years ago, it was more, let's say, flexible. And we're trying to make it more globally unite brand. So I think through that journey, we also have invented how we do global marketing, what's important global core, what's important local flex. Those things I think is well evolved my days with Zespri, which is very different from Unilever. And when it comes to fresh produce, I must say that most important and the proud thing I would want to reflect is that we really have brought consumer-centric operations now. When I joined Zespri 11 years ago, I literally felt that there is no mention about consumer at the exec table. Because of the history of the Zespri, it's all about growers. And we are very proud of delivering the best value back to grower. But there's, always consumer there to buy the product. So I think last 10 or 11 years, we have brought this important perspective that consumers are there, and maybe even more, planet is there for us to serve for through collaboration with growers. That's maybe one of the little differences that I found from Unilever when I joined, but also the way that we have evolved how marketing can, connect the world in between growers and the consumers. So that's maybe one point.
And so your first touch with New Zealand, can you remember how you first sort of came across New Zealand as a country?
I know New Zealanders do not like to visit in this way. So
we're bracing ourselves.
Okay.
It feels like a bit of Australia's coming, is it?
Yes.
Yes, I thought so.
I'm born in Japan and I'm purely educated in Japan. I have no abroad experience until I start this global job. Though my first global or abroad trip when I was in childhood was Australia.
Yeah.
One very big difference that I've found when I first visited New Zealand is Maori culture. And I really like the way that people respect the Maori culture. And also, I actually see quite a lot of commonality in between Maori culture and Shintoism of Japan. How we appreciate the nature and how we really rooted in our ancestors and so on. Those things I really can resonate with the one in New Zealand. So that's how I have figured out some similarity of maybe the destination or the directions, but the culture itself is obviously very unique, which I really like.
Yeah. Did you hear about New Zealand before Zespri, or was Zespri where you found out about New Zealand more so?
Interestingly, New Zealand was famous for my ski friend. I do ski, and I have been skiing like almost professionally. I used to join national competition, and many of my friends during summertime actually went to New Zealand for ski training. So I knew the country itself.
That's an interesting little fact you just put in there. So you never quite went to the Olympics, but you were in the national, because the Winter Olympics are happening now. And are you seeing any friends on the TV or?
Not as a player, but the coaches or the those reports. I know some of them, and I really used to do skiing quite a lot.
What was your specialty? Just I'm curious.
Alpine. Yeah.
Alpen, as they call it.
Alpen.
Alpen in Japanese.
Yeah. Wow, very cool.
We could go on about that. It is super exciting though, isn't it? Now I'm hooked on the TV whenever I can to be seeing.
That's the thing.
So I'll be thinking of you when we do that. My goodness. So when you joined Zespri, that was 2015, right?
Yes.
And the Japan office was really small. And I'm thinking it still is quite small from what we hear. But you seem to leverage outsourcing a lot. How does that tie in with your marketing to be able to be doing outsourcing? Because you don't look like you're doing that when you're marketing, right? But that's how you're leveraging, I think, the small going big.
Yes. It's interesting to be outsourcing. I think it's all about partnerships.
Partnerships. Thank you.
When you do marketing, interestingly, literally, I don't do anything by myself. I cannot write great copy. I cannot design the character. I cannot operate the in-store promotions. It's all about what our agency partners, do for ourselves. So I think the role we have been doing is really clarifying what's the priority and what we want through their expertise of marketing operations. So first few years, I think first 1 year, what I have done is really about consumer research. Even, running those researches done by a research agency, who's also a very important partner for us. Learning about consumers, qualifying what drives the business, and we just redesign what we do at Zespri Marketing and start hiring and also growing the agency partners together with us. That's, I would say, first 2 years of my time as a priority. And I also have redesigned the marketing team of Japan. That's how we have been evolving the way we do here.
It sounds similar to what Anzai-san said to us when we spoke to him about growing the partnerships with the distributors. It's just not only the distributors, it's with every aspect that you're working with in the business here in Japan. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So tell us about the launch of the Kiwi Brothers. They have been a huge hit in Japan, haven't they? Iconic, even. So yeah, tell us about that brand activation. How did that come about?
It's a big question people ask, isn't it? So we're super excited to hear it from you.
Yeah. And I always been asked that I the one who designed Kiwi Brothers. And I always stuck. It's not me, my art director. So I can tell you how I have led this evolution. So it was obviously in the first year I joined Zespri, we were still using so-called class A celebrities. Japanese TV commercials or promotions often promote those celebrities, which is also important.
Yeah, celebrities everywhere, right?
Yeah,
in Japan, promoting product, exactly.
Yes. When I see Japanese consumers, I just genuinely ask them, what do you know about Zespri? And interestingly, there were many mentions of historical celebrities that we have promoted before. And I realized that we're promoting Zespri but consumers' mental takeout was all about celebrities. So we are not really, building the brand. That was first realization. And second, oh, this is also very interesting observation. When I joined Zespri, I was so surprised that all the colleagues, even in Japan office, New Zealand office, was so crazy about kiwi fruits. Obviously, they're very proud of kiwi fruits. Their life is all about kiwi fruits. And in reality, consumers' life, kiwi fruits is nothing. That's,
Yes,
first
true.
thing that we always have to realize. So consumers are busy living in their life, and moms are busy thinking about what to cook tonight. And fruit selection is not the first priority for their life. That's where we started from. So how do I get my precious kiwi fruits to be a part of their brand memory structure? That was the first brief I gave to my agency. I want consumers to start thinking about the kiwi fruits. And unlike maybe New Zealanders, fruits is not the center of life. Japanese consumers wouldn't really consume fruits as often as other countries. Global average is about 200 grams, and WHO recommendation is 200 grams per day. But Japanese consumers actually consume less than 100 grams every day. So while Japanese fruits is very well known as high quality, great flavor fruits, it's not a part of every meal. If you can think of Japanese traditional meal, fruit is not always a part of that. It's rice, miso soup, 3 dishes of more vegetable main. So that's how I have started to question, at least how do I get kiwi fruits as a part of their memory? And then character-led campaign became one of the option. And we have done some tests, and this route has been selected. That's what I've done in the first year. Then we started to promote Kiwi Brothers from second year of my career here.
Did you have a little bit of say in the design of the open mouth of the Kiwi Brothers? So, I mean, you had some part in that, right?
Yeah, of course. So we gave some ideation discussions. First, I really wanted to make sure it's that the beautiful inside of the kiwi fruits palm needs to be seen.
Right.
And I can tell there were 4 designs at the last stage. One of them was something to do with kiwi bird because of the story about why we named it kiwi. And the other one is the half-cut kiwi fruits because that's how we have been educating consumers to consume kiwi fruits. But the reason we have chosen this last selection, final selection of Kiwi Brothers is to have first mouth was shown, and also I wanted to have the character which can deliver so many great story about kiwi fruits. It's not only about the taste, but nutritionally it's great. All the history of Zespri, how we are committed about quality control of the fruits. There are so many great things that we have to tell to consumers. So we decided to call in from Kiwi Brothers as an ambassador of the brand. And yeah, they're doing a great job.
And I saw just today that the season has started in New Zealand and they're starting with Ruby Red.
Right.
Can we ask, is Sister Ruby coming along at
It's
some
already
point?
here.
Is she already there?
It's already
Is
here.
she already in the big size?
It is not as big as Kiwi Brothers because season is still short.
She's younger.
Yeah, she's younger, and you can already tell that because of the color, it's not the brother but the sister, right?
Yes.
And it's relatively smaller than brother size.
Right.
And she is sometimes in POSM designs, and it's very exclusive must buy, incentives. Not as many produced as Kiwi Brothers, but it's already in the market. And we actually have rolled out Kiwi Sister last year to rest of the APAC as well. So all the market now have the Kiwi Sister as the main character.
So good. And I think it's been popular also across Europe and Americas as well. And back in New Zealand even too, the Kiwi Brothers and their little sister have become quite iconic as well.
Yes.
It's amazing, isn't it? It didn't come from New Zealand, it came from Japan and has now been brought back into New Zealand. Yeah.
I'm very, very proud of that. And that's how the global brand's been always evolving. Whatever the successful content to be rolled out globally. And at the Zesty Marketing, it's very small, connected team. We have made a very good discussion on the acceleration of the usage of the same character across the globe in the last few years.
Wow. Is there little differences across the markets for the Kiwi brothers and, shall we say, sister? Or is it really the same that you do in each market? Or are there little differences and then cultural nuances, say in India or Vietnam, might be different to Japan?
So in terms of the look and feel, it must be same, and it's same. So I think you have touched a very important point of cultural nuances, because let's say, just illustratively, being kind, that way you express your kindness might be a little different by markets. And if you, let's say, guardians or hero to protect others, the way we express those heroic behavior might be also a little different by markets. So while look and feel still become consistent, maybe the way we express in a storyline might be slightly different, but within APAC, it's still very similar.
So how is being a guardian or a hero in Japan or APAC different to, say, maybe Australia or New Zealand? Is it quite different?
If I refer to some of the cases that we already have exchanged some opinions, in Japan, for example, we don't fight directly to others. So one of the film that it took quite a long time to pass both internal alignment as well as the external censorship was the one we launched in 2024, which is the one long film, Cats Dreaming. That film, we were kind of advising consumers that your busy life making yourself unhealthy. And you are maybe picking up pizzas for convenient delivery, or you are maybe making a life easy at the convenience stores with, sweet sugary bread. Those things, the way we would want to remind consumers that you shouldn't really risk your health because of your busy days. And in that film, we originally have shown those pizzas or sweet breads. We actually decided to hide it at the end because we don't want to be too direct to those competitions. Maybe in American style, you'd want to show it. But in Japanese style, there's, some harmony as a culture that we appreciate. And when we launched that film, consumers actually have noticed that it's pizza or it's convenience sugary bread. Though people also have appreciated that we hide it in the commercials.
Interesting.
That's some important local nuances that we would want to respect.
So it's the same, but it's just showed a different way.
Right.
Slightly more opaque or obscure in Japan to reflect the culture. Whereas America, you can say X brand compared to Y brand.
Yeah.
And you can go right out there and do it. So it's very different. That's a
You're
great
right.
example.
So regulation itself is very different.
Right.
But what we want to do is to be always consistent to say it's more to be perceived. In a way. So how consumers see us needs to be always consistent, but it does not necessarily mean that we are showing off ourselves in the same manner.
So Kanako, we're amazed that you're leading a team that's not just in Japan, across APAC. What's some of the biggest lessons that you've seen, in addition to what we've talked about leading those teams that are really diverse, they're multicultural, and how you actually connect all of that back to the home office, right, in New Zealand? Because it's very, very different. So we're quite interested how you coordinate all of that across APAC as well as back to NZ.
I think you're right that every market have different cultures and nuances. So what I would always appreciate and respect is to really listen to people, because that's the only way that I understand the importance of difference. And in the end, I think it is always similar to every individuals have different values and different, lifestyles. So not me making whatever the decision, it's always to listen and help the managers to make the best decision. That's the way I try to manage my team. Because it's mostly remote, that's also an extra complexity or difficulties in my role. So I try to spend more time first, at least once or twice in a year. I want to see them face to face, and having real connections can actually help us to have better virtual connections. So those are maybe 2 points: listening to others first, and also having real connections first to have more effective work management during this virtual operation.
You have an annual meeting, don't you, back in New Zealand? And I think that was pretty recently. We're back there and also in Europe and getting around. So really being connected to people face to face must be quite different to sitting in Japan and doing
Right.
your work. Yeah.
So I think when it comes to marketing, interestingly, we don't have much interaction with New Zealand because we don't do a lot of marketing in New Zealand, right?
Mm.
So our central office is based in Singapore, and I am maybe having two different big communities. One is my APAC team, and the other one is marketing leadership team. So other territory heads, together with the global brand lead and the CMO, we often gather together and we discuss a lot of important strategies. But when it comes to in the market execution, it's with APAC marketing team. So those communities, both of them, I try to spend more time to listen and understand, and also have face-to-face at least once or twice in a year.
So tell us a little bit about your brand purpose evolution at Zespri. So we've seen the Make Your Health Irresistible platform. Are you able to share a little bit about that and what's coming?
Right. Back in 2020, we launched the current brand platform of Make Your Health Irresistible. It's rooted in our brand purpose, making our people, community, and environment thrive through goodness of kiwifruit. As I explained earlier, the company itself is established to make the max value back to growers, as an historical reason. Though these small kiwifruits kind of really make consumers healthier. It's not medicine, it's not supplement. It has great taste of this natural feel. And that's how we want to make the world better place, making great product, high quality kiwifruits, making consumers' life better, which obviously give us good profit for our customers or distributor partners, and then making money back to growers. That's the ecosystem that we are working on.
Right.
And even through this operations, we want to make the best for the environment, because environment is the base of what we do at the agricultural business. So this is whole Zespri purpose. When it comes to consumer-facing platform, it's all about making consumers' life healthier. So when we launched the new brand platform of Make Your Healthy Irresistible, obviously the high quality taste of sweetness of Zespri kiwifruits. Not all kiwifruits globally is always that tasty, and we're very proud that our own plant rights of Sangold reviewed, obviously giving very different taste experience and high quality kiwifruits. Even with the Hayward, the way we produce at Zespri is very different a way that others produce. Hence, the green kiwifruits also have very good taste experience. That's how consumers see us different from these kiwifruits. But we also want to encourage consumers to have their own way of being healthy. It does not necessarily mean that every single consumers have same way to thrive their life. So maybe some consumers would want to do more exercise. Some consumers would want to do a little calm exercise, but have healthier life. So it's more to encourage every single consumers have their own way of being healthy, and kiwifruits can be a part of that. That's our current platform of Make Your Healthy Irresistible.
You'll have a news tagline then, shall we say? Instead of Make Your Healthy Irresistible, there'll be a new one coming in the next coming season? Maybe, maybe not?
Yes. So you're right. So we're currently working on the next evolution of the brand tagline, which will be revealed to the industry very soon. We just have released to the internal staff last week, and we're very much excited about that.
Oh, exciting. Yeah.
Yes.
So these platforms are really moving Zespri beyond just simply selling fruit, but you're driving the social impact in the community.
Yes.
And I noticed when you went, like we had the Osaka Expo last year in 2025, and you had a partnership with the Japan Dietetic, is it
Yes,
Dietetic
yes,
Association,
yeah.
about tackling malnutrition. And I think that's fascinating because most people would not think that Japan is a country that has malnutrition,
You're
but
right.
it does. And so Zespri is also helping to drive that social impact in Japan as well, right?
Yes, yes. So we just have talked about the new platform to introduce this season, but Japan actually has been leading the pilot of this cause marketing.
Mm.
And since 2024, it's not only for the product promotion, but we are also trying to make consumers to rethink about the way they live and eat. And this is how we have started to work more closely with JDA, Japan Dietetic Association. We
Mm.
actually have been sponsoring their Nutrition Dinner Week since their first year. I think back in 2018 or so. So we are very close. But it's not only for promoting Kiwifruits now, together with JDA, we would want to remind consumers that in reality, with this modern busy life, you're not doing right. And you always compensate your health because of your busy life, which is not right. So through our Q Brothers communication, we calmly and gently remind them that you should prioritize your health, and Kiwifruits is here to support you. That's, simply said, the way we would want to make our society a better place.
So what's exciting you now then across APAC in Japan about where you're working? Any trends that you're seeing? Because there's so many things probably, but pick a few for us if you could.
I think first of all, I really happy and proud of the work I'm doing, because this is your work and you are making world better place. That's, I think, the best match, right? So whatever the work I do always keep me excited. And running this new course marketing in Japan being so successful, that we would want to continue to do. Though I am also expanding this initiative to Korea in this season. Team is very excited, and it's more than your normal work. Whatever you do makes your society a better place, and you feel something so different and so proud. And you can show your families as well. My girls are they're always seeing busy mom. I'm not always at home. I'm sorry for that. I travel a lot. I really appreciate my husband's support for that. But seeing or showing your girls that doing right thing for society through your work, I think this is really, really fascinating job.
And you've just mentioned, your lifestyle is a little bit different to the average sarari woman or, And so tell us bust some of the myths for us about Japanese work culture. Is it possible to live far away from Tokyo and still have a very successful career? It might not be easy, let's just say, but yeah,
Yeah.
maybe have a bit of everything.
Yeah, definition of success differs by people. So
Yeah.
I'm not really comparing to others. So first, I wanted to work not hard, but as normal to really have my own career, which is already quite difficult thing for some of Japanese women. Culturally, it's not seen that women work hard or women earn a lot. I think there is something here, right?
Mm.
Guys are supposed to earn better, and the guys are supposed to work harder. Women are always at home doing all the childcare stuff, which is not the common value we share at my family. My parents are also working. So my parents own soba factory, and my parents are working always hard. My mom is also working for that factory. So to us, seeing working mom is not the unique stuff. It's first a base.
Mm.
So my mom's been juggling everything so well, and I wanted to be always like that. But at the same time, seeing my father leading one of the small Japanese soba factory is also something very cool to me. I want to do something like that. I want to lead the business. So that's how I started to learn business at the university and taking the marketing role here. And I was already looking for the companies that allows women to do the equal career progression. So I didn't really choose any Japanese company when I was doing job hunting. I chose more international companies, and culture was very important. For the final stage, I checked with the colleagues in the company to really understand what kind of opportunities women can have. Because, in my days, maybe it's not true for recent university students, but in my days, guys are always thinking about 10 years, 20 years of titles that they can have. But to me, what important at the time was what experience I can have in the first 3 years and 5 years, because women will have some career break because of baby delivery. So that was our first choice and our first priority I used to have. And company choice was very important. And second, I also have my sister who's always very conscious about gender equality. So my sister was a teacher and she was learning those stuff at the masters, and she always says that responsibility should be shared with your partner. You shouldn't always treat that women does everything. So it's your own value and choice that you have to educate your partner. And that's how I started to learn that I can ask those things for my husband, and he's also willing to take those responsibilities. So we do care each other, and that's how I have got this balanced work condition, let's say. So my husband also works quite hard. He's also doing his own office, though he also would want to prioritize his time for girls now, because my girls are still small. They're age 12, 9, and 6. So we are saying that now it's a life stage that we need to be little, not really saving, but be balanced on what we do for the work. And if I'm taking regional role, he's available for some of the household and school stuff. So we always chat through what's the best for all of us and make the best choice for that.
There you go. And you also, you won this award, Marketer of the Year. Was that last year in 2025? Was that a little while ago?
I think it was 2021. Yeah.
I mean, that's within Japan,
yes,
right? Marketer of the Year. And I think it was awarded to you by the Nikkei.
Yes.
That's phenomenal, right? There's so many. How many marketing people are there in Japan? And you won that.
Yeah, it was very honored, and it was obviously through teamwork. It's not only me doing the job, but the launch of the Make You Healthy Digital, the new platform in 2020, has been really seen as a great job, which was great.
So people are noticing, right? They notice what's going on in marketing. And so I guess looking back, what is it to you that makes you think, I really love marketing? What is it about marketing that you like? Is it the smile on the customer's face? Is it your girls reflecting back to you? Is it all of these things? What is it that makes you really enjoy this world of marketing?
One thing I definitely prioritize is how I can make consumers' life better through the power of team. Because only myself having whatever the great wishes, I cannot do everything. So through marketing, it's really power of the team to make consumers' life better. And it's really your choice of what category and what brand you work for. So I have noticed this power of marketing when I was in South Africa at Unilever. I had the opportunity to be seconded to South Africa, where I worked on one of the sanitary cleaner. And working on a sanitary cleaning product in Africa already mean to protect humans' life. So at that time, I really learned how much the power of marketing can make humans' life better. And I always wanted to work on those products since then. So to be very honest, coming back to Japan and working on some shampoo, skincare product, I didn't really feel right, because our life is quite well fulfilled. Brand marketing was very interesting, though how much this product can really save people's life. I didn't have the enough sensation or the excitement in comparison to the work I've done in Africa. So when I was looking for the second company, that was a very important criteria. How much I can make consumers' life better. And obviously, fruits and key fruits having a lot of potentials, though consumers are not eating enough, which is actually failure of marketing. Product is already great, but promotion is not doing right. And we are actually in failure to whatever the junk food doing the great job in their TV commercials. So I found it Very interesting challenge.
Wow. That is a great way to
Mm.
choose a company that you want to work for, finding that purpose that really helps you to be motivated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move on to some wisdom, wisdom from Kanako-san.
I don't know
So,
what I can tell.
so please give us some of your do's and don'ts for working internationally, successfully, cross-culturally. And you've already given us a couple that were listen. We heard listen before. What was the other one, Catherine? Listen and spend time.
With people directly, right?
That's right.
With
Yeah.
real listening and having connections with real people,
So what other
right?
wisdom do you have for us for
Especially
those?
Kiwis coming into Japan. I
Yeah.
mean, what are they doing wrong in marketing? Or maybe you're not observing them as specifically as Kiwis, but marketing must be a very hard task for people coming in to Japan. So, what sort of do's and don'ts are there that you might think about? Things that have probably gone well or haven't
Hmm.
gone so well. We really want to hear from you.
I think being a marketeer, the advice I gave to my team is be curious about consumers. It's
Hmm.
all about why. And your common sense or whoever the other competitions, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing right thing. So be curious for the consumers is maybe first do. For the marketeers, I would advise. And maybe don't is the opposite, that don't always believe that you're right.
Do you have any great examples of where you've seen that happen?
It's always about key fruits. The SP people is so crazy about key fruits. They know too much about key fruits. I always need to remind them it's not true what the consumers like. When
Right.
consumers are
Mm.
buying fruits in the supermarket, observe them. They even do not notice that key fruits is there. That's the
Mm.
reality.
Even
Mm.
though they're in the front of the store,
Yeah, they
right? And
even
there
don't
may be
find it.
two nuigurumis, right? The soft
Yes.
toys of the
Yes.
brothers there. We see them and we think about them. They're front of mind, but they're not always for a consumer. That is
No.
really important,
Mm.
right? They'll
Yeah.
That's true.
dive for the bananas or go over there for the mandarins that are now in season
Right.
2, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So just because you love it so much doesn't mean everybody else
That's
does.
the thing.
Nobody's
Mm.
thinking about your product. Yeah. Got to
Ah.
make them think about it somehow. Yeah. Anything else that comes up for you?
I think it's also important to trust others, right? Because you're not always be together. It's not like sitting next door in the office. So you gotta trust others that they're doing right job. Especially when it comes to whatever the good debate or discussions, people are always coming with good sake. Nobody's want to have the fight, or nobody would want to, always make you down. They're also having some good sake or good consolation behind it. So with a good trust, discuss more, learn more, listen more. That's maybe the only thing we can work better in remote condition.
Mm. Do you
Mm.
see there's the lack of trust and sort of that people get into difficult conversations because they don't trust the other people?
Sometimes I think it can easily happen because you don't know what they do. When you shut down your PC, maybe they might go out and do something else, but I don't care as long as they do the job. And if we trust each other, the way they spend time is their helps, and I only care what deliveries they
The
make in
delivery,
what
yeah.
manner.
Mm.
Is there anything that we've skipped over that you wanted to elaborate on or that we didn't talk about today that you wanted to share, Kanako?
One thing I personally reflect these days, this product and services, especially in digital spaces, are evolving so fast.
Hmm.
And I think as a marketeer and as social individuals, we have to be so responsible how we want to protect next generation and how we want to deliver, or protect a better world for next generation. So I'm quite conscious of how even a good match of people spending their time and money for something a little crazy in the world. So if marketeers listening to this podcast, I really would want to reflect the service and product if it's really important for next generation.
I'm getting
Hallelujah to that.
some chills
Exactly.
hearing that. Yeah. Kanako has laid down the challenge.
Thinking
Very
about
good.
preserving for the future. Exactly. Yeah. Wow. It's been so exciting speaking with you.
Thank you.
And we really have appreciated you taking the time. Is there anything you wanted to say at the very end that you would like people to remember as they venture out into the marketing in Japan or sales in Japan? Anything that you would like to capture just as the last comment?
Working hard is always important, but protecting your health is also important. So please have a kiwi fruits every day. That's the important comment.
They're always in the front of the supermarket, not hard to
Yes.
find.
Season's
Yeah.
coming.
Thanks so much, Kanako. We welcome you to being finally a Jandal in Japan.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you so much, Kanako, for sharing what goes on behind the scenes at Zespri and the marketing department. That's amazing to hear.
Incredible.
That.
And so modest, right? Giving all the credit for those Kiwi Brothers designs to her art director. And we know that she was part of that. Obviously, I was really hinting at that through the episode. And it's just wonderful how she said at one point, yes, it was important for me to make sure that we showed the beautiful inside of the kiwi fruit.
Yeah,
and that's
that
what
makes
gave it away,
them-
Kanako. We knew it was you.
That really makes the Kiwi Brothers being able to see the different
does.
colors inside their mouths. I saw them at the supermarket yesterday and I was like, oh, there they
Oh,
are.
there they
Yep.
are.
Mm.
And you know,
Cute.
they are ambassadors of the brand, and with that new Ruby Red in there, she was recently the actual big mascot with the other two brothers in a recent campaign we saw in Tokyo, which is fantastic. So love them, see them everywhere. They just bring such a smile. And as she said, you know, the interesting thing was that fruit is not central to Japanese people's meal culture, could we call it?
That's right.
Right?
It's quite unusual in that if you ask children in Japan, what's your favorite food? Instead of like ice cream or chocolate, they will say strawberries or
Oh,
grapes because they're so special and they don't get to eat
Ah.
them that often.
Interesting.
And yeah, it's just not that common. They eat a lot of vegetables.
yeah, that 100 grams a day, I think it was half what everybody else has. That was remarkable statistic. So, yeah, I really enjoyed the idea of that brand memory structure, trying to get people to remember about fruit in the front of their brain as they're going into supermarkets and thinking about kiwi fruit in that way that it's actually embedded in the memory.
Right.
That was amazing.
Yeah, because when I visit the supermarket, I'm like, what's on special?
Yeah.
What is the seasonal fruit
That's the
that is
thought.
on special and cheap right now? That's basically how most consumers are approaching the supermarket, right? So to get them to be, I need to buy my kiwi fruit because I've run out
yes.
is very important.
And no doubt that has actually helped people to think more about fruit in Japan, perhaps through kiwi fruit. There was so much more too, but we hope everyone enjoyed it, and also finding out that little secret fact about her being a superstar national alpine skier for Japan, right?
So cool.
So
Thank you
cool.
so much for sharing all of that with us, Kanako. And please keep listening. More very cool jandals coming to you soon. Mata ne!
Bye bye. Thanks for listening. Make sure you check out our guests' links in the show notes.
This podcast is brought to you today by Catherine O'Connell Law and Pod Launch with Jane. If you have a great story you think should be on the show, come and find us on LinkedIn or Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.
Mata ne!